Hello everyone and welcome to the Anime Zillia, and today let's talk about We Never Learn, chapter 146. Now I know it's been a long time since I've done a manga chapter review, but honestly, this chapter was really good and it was full of a good amount of emotion as we edge closer towards the final chapter of the series. Well, it certainly looks like that anyway, as we see just what Yuiga's feelings are towards Uruka and the struggle he faces. This was just an amazing portrayal of that, and I love the way that they kind of visualized it and they showcased it. It's something that the anime definitely should have done. Now, I didn't really want to bring up the anime too much in this review, but hey, I failed that already. However, I do have to point out that this manga has done it brilliantly. Like, say what you like about who you wanted Yuiga to end up with. However, the fact that the manga has fleshed this out so much and kind of shown us the emotion and the connection between Yuiga and Uruka, where the anime just kind of slapped in at the end, it just shows how good this is. This chapter really does help build that, and it kind of builds up the emotion and the tension between the two characters, so I wanted to talk about it. So, if you read last week's chapter, 145, you know that we're in a flashback mode, because Yuiga isn't looking too happy and Uruka wants him to smile. So, how does she go about doing that? Well, we visit the little sister. She reckons that if she can make the sister go back to school, then he would smile. And it's a pretty nice way of doing it, actually, and the way that they did this, it was great. So, basically, the reason why they did this flashback and the reason why I believe it deserves to be in this part of the manga, like this late on, is the fact that it makes the whole emotions from Yuiga's point of view more believable. Because if they didn't have this in, then it would just be like the anime just slaps in at the end without no real context behind it. So, basically, we have the situation where Uruka meets, is it Yuzuka? I'm just going to refer to her as Yuiga's sister. And Uruka's obviously carefree, friendly, and bubbly, lively, jolly. Gives her a nickname right off the bat, pats her on the head, and his sister's just unfriendly, pretty much, and just doesn't want to know anything. She just wants a brother and just wants to know who this girl actually is. Now, that kind of, oh, I can't stand losing to this girl, she's after my brother kind of vibe, I don't like. But I understand why she's a bit hostile. Obviously, it's because her father's just, passed away, and she's being picked on because of it at school. That's why she doesn't like it. We know this from last week's chapter, but this kind of interaction between the two characters is fitting, but I do love the way they resolved it. So it turns out that Uruka is the reason as to why Yuiga's sister returns to school. And it's thanks to her dedication and hard work. Because Uruka basically challenges, his sister, Yuiga's sister, actually challenges Uruka to a swimming contest every day after school. And this kind of helps to show off Uruka's determination and her hard work, her dedication towards swimming. And this basically motivates Yuiga's sister in basically saying, look, I want to find something that I can work as hard towards as Uruka does, thus pushing Yuiga's sister back into school and into some form of a normal life, which in turn does make Yuiga really happy. So this part was just great, because not only does we see Yuiga smile, but it's also the first time that we see Yuiga starting to respect and admire Uruka. And that's one thing that we actually needed. We needed to see where it all began from Yuiga's perspective, because we've seen it from Uruka's perspective. Now we just needed it from the males. So, basically Yuiga sees a small part of himself inside Uruka, because all he thought was, oh, she's a talented swimmer, it comes easy to her. However, that's not the case. We see that she has to work 3 or 4 times harder, or, as hard, just to kind of catch up to the other people in front of her already. So, Yuiga seeing a genius like Uruka putting in the same amount of effort that he has to just to barely scrape by in class, motivates Yuiga again to start studying, motivates him to keep going and not to give up. That's where the respect and the kind of the feelings come out from Yuiga, because he's just so happy. He even states in this chapter that this is a really cool line that I see. Yuiga's like, I've always respected her, Uruka Tokumoto. She's like the sun. She always gives me good energy. And then that line there just basically proves and backs up the point that, he is in fact, he does have feelings towards her, and she was like a light that guided him and pushed him forward out of that dark time that he was in. So that's one thing that I really do like, especially when you look at it in a bit more sort of light like that. So then we go back into present day, and Yuiga is finally kind of, he finally accepts his feelings and realizes what they are, but he's conflicted because of what Mahiru says. Basically, he doesn't know what would make Uruka the happiest. As we know, the answer is obvious. Being with Yuiga is obvious. And basically, Mahiru basically just stated in the previous chapter, look, having a boyfriend would be absolutely fatal to my career, if I was kind of growing and still trying to get my name out there. So that's why Yuiga's conflicted, because he knows that Uruka loves to swim. He knows that she's the best in water, and she wants to go big. But if he accepts and admits his feelings towards her, will that get in the way of her happiness? That's the big question. And I love the fact that his father appears. We see Yuiga's father, and it's pretty cool. And I love the way they did it. So let's just talk about that for a second. So Yuiga's father basically states that their love is awkward. And that's fine, because it takes a long time, but it can grow something great. I did love that. That was brilliant. But the fact that his father came back was a really nice touch, because it was something that was kind of needed. It's like a self-projection of Yuiga's inner thoughts. Yuiga himself is having these feelings. It's not his father coming back from the grave as a ghost. His father, isn't coming back as a ghost to tell him this. It's his mind projecting an image of his father, telling him what he knows deep down. What he knows deep down and not really accepting just yet. However, once he hears this from his father, that's when the penny drops. And at the end of the day, that was great. Plus, my favourite panel of this chapter was in fact this panel right here. When we see Yuiga finally realising his feelings, because to us as the reader, we've known it, we can see it, but it's like the penny has finally dropped, and that was brilliant. It was simple, yet great, and the art style was, again, it's a simple art style, but it's like the situation where it's a picture says 1,000 words. Now, another really good quote that I really do like from this chapter, that is great, that We Never Learn does so much throughout its chapters and its anime episodes, is that it gives you those quotes that are just brilliant. Because his father basically states, and the only people who can understand the struggling of others are those who have struggled themselves. Now, I feel like we have heard this before, but to hear that line again, I actually did appreciate. It's one of those really cool lines that sometimes people just need to hear. So what's going to happen next? Because due to the rain problems and everything else, Uruka has to take a morning flight and is possibly going to miss graduation. So we don't actually know what's going to happen. Is she going to go early? Is she going to wait around? Who knows? Is Yuiga going to keep her there? Maybe, maybe not. Hopefully, though, they take a different route than the anime ending. Because personally, I didn't like the anime ending at all. It was slapdash and done, and it was kind of really over fast and nothing built up. But now we've got this build up. I feel like the mangaka can really give us an ending that we can all be proud of as fans. At the very least, though, I like to see them actually admit their feelings together, or at least kind of agree on something. Like, for example, Yuiga saying, look, Uruka, I respect and admire you deeply. I do feel like I love you. However, I want you to be happy, so please once you win at like nationals or something and you get a gold medal, come find me and then we'll do this for real. Hopefully that is like the way they go about it. That'd be pretty cool. I like that because it stays true to both Yuiga's character and it stays true to Tokumoto's character. However, if you have a preferred ending, let me know down in the comment section below. I'll be doing reviews for the chapters until the manga ends now, so stay tuned for those. So subscribe if you're new, so you never miss a video from me. Until next time, I hope you've enjoyed. Bye.